want tree cover, okay? We're going for bleak. If you're not on board with bleak, you can't be doing landscaping down here, and you certainly don't.
Infrastructure-wise, more than anything else. I'm not gonna lie. I would rather live in a Carcel world that was filled with trees than a train bike haven with no trees. That I know it's a controversial opinion, I know. But what's the point of being at a destination that fucking sucks because there's no fucking shade? Why not both? Well, I'm just explaining how much I care about trees. Obviously, you can have both, duh. It's just like, it's diabolical. It's actually like, literally, it's diabolical. I can't. It's, I was out the other day, like a week or two ago. I forget where I was at in LA, but it was like, the main street had no trees, no shades. And it was like, water, I need water. And then I made a right into like a residential area that had nothing but trees, and it was 10 degrees cooler. And there was no sun in my eyes. And I was like, why? 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 Why is this? Why can't we have this on every street? Why? It makes me so fucking mad, dude.
The label socialist. In fact, it's the opposite. I mean, there may be people who knee-jerk react to actually support as opposed to get frightened off. And so and there's no longer, like, this cohort, I think even more broadly, are upset at the Democrats for not doing enough, whether older or younger. But the bottom line is, if it's generational, it's very easy to see where the trend is going.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I mean, the trend is going so well that, like, other mayors are having to do what Mamdani does. Spot a pothole on your street, send it our way. Report it to 311 through My LA 311 app or lacity.gov My LA 311. Asking LA's mayor to Mamdani a pothole. That's what we're calling doing your job now. Mamdaniing. We're calling doing your fucking job Mamdaniing.
Hey, Mayor Bass. I found this pothole here on Melrose and Gardner Street. Hoping you could just send some folks down here to just remedy that for us.
Hi, Simone. I saw your post, so I want you to know that city crews were out here today at noon. But unfortunately, there was a car that was here, so we couldn't repair the pothole. So you know what we did? We put up these no parking signs so that hopefully there won't be anybody parked here tomorrow morning, and the city crews will be back in the future if you have any problems.
So we did nothing. We put up a fucking sign that cost $5. I have no words. I have like no words.
Like this, you can call 311 if it's graffiti, if it's a pothole, or if it's just random trash. So thank you, Simone. Thank you for being a great LA citizen. We're going to get this done.
Hey, Mayor.
That's amazing. Hey, is this a joke? This isn't the official account for the 43rd mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass. Zoran would have lifted the car so the city workers could reach the pothole, by the way. Are you fucking stupid? Girl, you didn't even fix the pothole. Why in the world wouldn't you just wait till it's actually fixed to post it? What I don't understand is, I thought the video was going to be, I was like, I'm hopeful, okay? You guys don't understand how hopeful I am. I was like, oh, she's going to say, we came here and there was a car in the way, but everybody knows this problem. We put up a sign. Next day, as soon as we had the opportunity, we came by, no one was parked, and we fixed that bad boy. I also like that, like, when she shows how the city fixes potholes, it's like the ugliest repair job you've ever seen in your fucking life. That still sucks to drive over, by the way. Like this shit. These still suck to drive over, by the way, if you were curious. It's like, I could have fixed it that way, dude. I could. I am late for the stream. Have you watched the new ContraPoints videos on liberalism in Palestine? No, I don't want to watch that, dude. Why would you ask me that? Stop, dude. Hi, unfortunately, you asked me to do my job, and I needed to let you know. I don't give a fuck. Thank you. Vote for me again. Also, I need to stop a little bit of misinformation really quickly, really fast. Just really quickly. I saw some tree haters in chat. Okay, I saw some anti-tree propaganda in chat that was like, "Well, we can't have trees in LA because of fires." I will have you know. All right, there are lots of trees that are native to LA, that have been native to LA the whole time, that are drought resistant, that don't produce excessive oils, that make them extra flammable. And those are the trees we should be planting. Planting native trees is the play. What if the native trees are ugly? I mean, I don't think this California sycamore, this is just like a normal tree. I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty big tree person. It's just a normal tree. This looks like a good tree to me. Looks good to me. Tolerates heat, smog, and drought conditions as well as moist conditions. It's native to riparian areas. It has an interesting mottled bark when the tree is bare in winter. Looks good to me. Also, no such thing as an ugly tree. See, you're a real tree lover. Okay, dude. Amen. Tree enjoyers, fucking stand up right now. Okay? Stand up. So there are lots of trees that are native to LA that we could grow. That are, obviously you can't be a tree and be fire resistant. But there are some trees that are extra flammable. Super flammable. So yes, I agree. No more eucalyptus trees in LA. They don't belong there. But why can't we plant the ones that are native to LA that can work in droughts and in dry climates? Why? Why can't we do that? I just don't understand why we have to suffer. Why? Why do I have to walk in the fucking brutal heat? Chinese tallow are ugly and they're the bane of my existence. What? This tree looks fine. I feel like this tree looks fine. Well, the suffering will continue until the fires improve. I don't know, man. I feel like I like trees though. I like trees. Some trees have pollen. Just fucking handle it. Okay? I will have you know, I would gladly take on every human being's allergies to enjoy the shade of trees. I don't mind sneezing every 5 seconds if it means I'm in some shade. I would trade that. All right? I would gladly trade that. So you just fucking handle it, dude. All right? Handle it. Please. I'm invested in tree stock. Like, look at this depressing ass fucking street. Look at this average depressing ass LA street. Look at the tree that they got fucking planted. What type of shade is this providing? Look at this concrete hell. Look at this. Look. This is so depressing. Christ. All right, sorry. That's like my biggest infrastructure soapbox that I have.
That clip is from yesterday. Well, today, if it's a generational divide, guess who lost just a tiny bit of ground in that one day?
Yeah.
And it's just every day that goes by, that younger cohort, when they start to get to be 50, and I get...
Have you seen this guy's videos about trees? Wait. Spiritually depraved and misery-inducing landscapes of North America, episode 1. Crime pays, but botany doesn't.
Hi, this is Tony.
I almost entered a state of unbelievable rage simply looking at this street. May I immediately note, why are the trees so far from the sidewalk? What is the... Okay, I understand trees need to grow. So, you can't just plant a fully grown tree. It's probably more reasonable to plant a bunch of trees and, maintain them over time. Why are they so far away from the side? Who's going to benefit from these fucking trees? The point of the trees is to provide shade for the people walking around.
On today's episode of soul-crushing and spiritually depressing landscapes of North America, we got a real banger coming at you straight out of far Texas. Let's go check it out. Already getting started with this extensive spread of St. Augustine grass, which requires a lot of moisture to stay alive when it's summer 11 months out of the year. Great way to piss away your slowly declining water reserves. Reservoirs are already going dry.
This is another hot take, not hot at all. I don't want grass. I don't need grass. Grass is not beneficial for me. As a certified walker, I don't need more fucking grass. Just put the fucking tree in the fucking box and put some fucking soil. I don't need grass, dude. I just want the tree to give me some fucking shade. Put the fucking soil in the goddamn fucking bag, and the rest of it can be concrete.
Region. Look at what's happening to Corpus Christi. Great way to piss this away on a crop you're not going to eat and otherwise not going to use, and most people aren't going to pay attention to because they're going to be driving by it at 30 miles per hour. But the sense of desperation and wanting to give up doesn't stop there. Let's look at some of these dying trees they put in. Now, these are non-native oaks. They're native to a few 100 miles east of here. Probably gets twice the annual rainfall that we get here. We only get 20 inches. And so they're slowly dying due to the heat, all right? It also doesn't get as hot where these grow natively as it does here. So, but that's not a problem to worry about. You're just gonna wrap the tree well, which is lined with plastic, by the way. Wrap the tree well in a few, just do a few rounds of, half-inch irrigation drip on it, and don't worry about it. All right, good luck. It's not going to work. The leaves are very glossy. They don't have any pubescence whatsoever on the undersides. A lot of the native plants have evolved strategies to cope with the intense climate.
It's like if you took internet comment guy and you put him outside and made him feel the way that I feel about trees.
Down here, one of the most extreme climates in North America, and so a lot of the natives have evolved, a coating of tiny hairs on the leaves, which help mitigate the effects of sun, drying winds, and water stress. Or they've got a thick layer of wax. This tree has neither. I expect it'll be dead in probably, I don't know, let's say 6 months to a year. We also have this wonderful expanse of black asphalt, which heats up to about 160 degrees Fahrenheit in the sun. Remember, it is summer for about 11 months out of the year here. It is mid-March. It's already 95 degrees. That's going to be cooking. You could probably, cook a plate of rice or some eggs on that come July. Now look at this tree. It's already on its way out. This is a wonderful example of it. This is either Quercus fusiforme or Quercus virginica. Now both are native to a few hundred miles north and east of here where they get much more rain. Not enough rain down here. You can also see this thing is already half dead because it was ripped out of the ground with the tree spade at a tree farm. And when the tree spade ripped it out, it severed all the feeder roots, since most of the roots that do absorption on a tree are on the distal ends. Not in the center, they're on the distal ends. Where the root hairs are. And so when they ripped this out, they already kind of gave it a death sentence. And so it's going to be here and slowly die. Now, you might be asking, why would they plant the tree that's going to slowly die? Well, this is actually a very popular model throughout much of the United States because you can charge a lot more money for larger specimens, even though it makes more sense, from a physiological standpoint, and for anybody who knows their botany, to plant small. When you plant the small 1 to 2 or 3 gallon max plant, it's going to get established quicker, okay? And it hasn't been tortured in a pot. The roots aren't going to be coiling around the bottom, and it hasn't been ripped out of the ground with a tree spade. Once you plant that smaller plant, it'll take way less time to get established. And once it gets established, then it really starts taking off and it'll grow faster. I bet you could plant the 3 gallon oak next to this thing, and by the time this is fully dead, that 3 gallon oak will be that tall anyway. Probably like another year and a half, maybe 2 years. I don't know, who knows. Either way, wonderful job on making it look as depressing as humanly possible. This is terrible. I mean, I said, wow, how did they do that? Look, it's already dead, okay? Now, of course, it looks a lot better for a landscaping job, and surely the landscaper got paid probably a couple $100,000 to do this shit, which is a crime unto itself. But hey, we're pissing away a few $1 billion every day in Iran. Why the fuck?
I mean, I don't even blame the landscaper. Like, what are you going to do if that's the job you were given? You were told, like, here's the budget. These are the trees we want. Do it. Like, what are you going to do? Your job is to show up and do what they asked for. Like, what are you going to do about it?
Fuck not. This is nothing. This is chump change to that. So, but you can see that it really does look terrible. And you see this common, throughout the United States. People don't understand that you plant smaller, the trees get established faster, they take off. They want overnight results. They want the reveal. This gives you a good reveal, even though it's going to slowly decline until it eventually dies. Probably a year left on this thing. Let's move over to this bed. This is pretty terrible. Now this shrub, which is certainly all the same clone, half of them are dead already, and they've got it hedged into look.
The thing that pisses me the fuck off about this shit more than anything else is that there are so many cacti that look beautiful. Why don't we plant those? Sure as fuck looks better than this fucking sad, depressing brush. There are so many succulents and cacti that look gorgeous, that are great for dry areas and dry climates that don't require maintenance. Why the fuck don't we plant those? Spiky and dangerous? Okay, then what's the excuse for succulents? Google. Succulents native for Texas. Let me pull. So just really quickly, just a random Google search. Just like one random Google search really fast. Here are some that are native to Texas. Any of these, by the way, would look 100 times better. And any of these, literally any of these, quite literally any of these, would look 100 times better than these depressing, fucking dried out plants.
Like molars, it really looks terrible. You know, uniform lines, even spacing, they love that shit, these fucking landscapers. Now this hedge is wax myrtle. It's a morella species, which is actually native to the United States, all right? But the southeastern United States, where you get much higher rainfall, maybe 40 to 60 inches, we get about half that here. So it's condemned to death as well. But they got irrigation watering this stuff, right? So it might be a prolonged death. It's going to take a little bit longer to die than if you just planted it without irrigation. I'll give them that. Now we got the dyed mulch, okay? Because regular wood chips wouldn't be enough. They have to dye it so it looks uniform. We've also got this bleak vinyl edging in here too, just like we saw in the tree well back there. Totally pointless, doesn't do anything. When a guy on his riding lawnmower comes and hits this thing, he'll shred that into a bunch of plastic bits, add microplastics into the ground, you know, out into the parking lot, wherever. That'll look really good. No one's going to pay attention to this, again, because no one's paying attention to you know, the landscaping in most human developments anyways. Really
I mean, I notice bad landscaping and I notice good landscaping. I will tell you guys, I notice that shit. But you know what I don't notice? I don't notice anything I can't see because it's so hot and the sun is so bright that I have to do this and squint so I don't go fucking blind. Why is there no shade?
Terrible. Despite the weed fabric that surely exists beneath these wood chips, one of the aggressive amaranthus species, spinach family, Amaranthaceae, was still able to pop up through it and do its thing. And honestly, I mean, it's a terrible weed, but it looks better than all this shit that they've planted here. Now let's look over here, because this is a nice contrast. Now you can see right there we have our native mesquite, Neltuma.
You know what's so depressing? All of the money that they spent on this ugly ass, dog shit ass fucking landscaping, all the money that they spent on like this shit ass grass that has to be maintained and these shit ass trees, they could have put this towards at least providing some shade in this parking lot to solar panels, and it would have looked better. It would have looked better. I would rather it be a true concrete jungle that's functional than this fucking nasty ass shit.
You plant smaller, the trees get established faster, they take off. They want, you know, overnight results. They want the reveal. This gives you a good reveal, even though it's going to slowly decline.
So disgusting. Let's keep going.
And it's got no trouble at all growing in this heat. They look great throughout most of the year. It takes a lot to make a mesquite look like shit, okay? It takes a lot of drought, like prolonged drought. And so it would have made more
Mr. F, thank you for the 5 gift subs.
sense just to leave that in a ground, you know, because surely there were more mesquites all throughout this bleak landscape before the bulldozers came in here. But again, it would have made too much sense, right? I mean, you can see that tree's providing ample shade. It's covered in flowers, insect-pollinated flowers, so they're not going to cause allergies, because only wind-pollinated flowers cause allergies. Still have to explain that to some of the dummies in the room, but you can't fault them because we've all been alienated from nature in the first place and from plant life itself. Right? We think plant life's got to look like this hideous garbage, like this bullshit, and then we see stuff like that that's literally built via natural selection to thrive in this region. We see that and we say, oh, it's messy, we got to get rid of it and bulldoze it. Not too fucking bright, pretty
And the craziest thing too is
The
you can just
mullet holes
maintain.
are gone, people.
You could just maintain all of the money spent on this stupid ugly ass lawn and these fucking concrete floors and these fucking parking lots that are gonna fucking get destroyed. How about you just have some tree trimmers? Sorry, I'm gonna control myself. House of Rice, thank you so much for the 25 gifties. Thank you for making this depressing infrastructure video a little bit less depressing. House of Rice, thank you. I also happen to notice there is a treasure train, guys. All right. That means gift subs, 5 or more gift subs are 35% off.
Fucking shit.
So you are literally losing money right now if you are not subbing. That's how that works. Don't check the math. I did it for you. Don't worry. Okay? Trust me. I went to school for accounting, so I am accounting. I am now legally your accountant, and I'm telling you, you are losing money by not subbing and not gift subbing. Mm-hmm. Girl math? No. No. This is real math. She's literally always right. Thank you. I know. I'm a big numbers guy. Yeah, exactly.
They should be kissing Denim's feet.
Random Talking, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Washbear, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Do I get a submarine sandwich? Sure, whatever you want, eventually. This is legal advice. This is financial advice. Okay? Mm-hmm.
Depressing, but this is something I think about every day in my life, and you know, you just gotta get used to it. But look at that thing; it's thriving. I gotta love the mesquites, right? They send down roots super deep, edible food source from the fruits, those leguminous pods. You can eat the pulp around the bean, and happy as a pig and shit in full sun. Major habitat tree. That's what you call a keystone species. Okay, I'm talking too smart here. We gotta focus on the bleak. Let's get back to this. Now stepping across the road.
Oh my god, I'm just like getting depressed looking at this
feet.
This dreadful landscape. I'm just being filled with depression.
Out here, let's take a look at this because they really did a good job on this shithole. So this is, you can see we still have the lawn pissing away precious water reserves. No lawn should look like that right now, okay? We have not gotten rain, significant rain in a few months. We're in a bad drought right now. So again, they're pissing away precious water reserves of the region. And you know, again, water reserves are
Big Boy Zanos, thank you for the 5 gifts of Worst Bird. Thank you for the 10 gift subs. El Seguro, thank you so much for the 5 gifts of Mister. Thank you for the 2 months. Luke, thank you for the Prime. Flanking Fred, thank you so much for the 38 months. I gave all my investment money to Mayor Cat and he ghosted me. Help? Question mark? No. He's just building a portfolio for you. Don't worry.
declining all over South Texas. I had a friend who wanted to move here, but he got scared because he said there's no fucking water, and that's gonna cause a lot of problems, if not exorbitantly high costs, in the living costs for everybody in the state. And so, I mean, he's a very smart guy. He knew not to move here because the water issues are going to be bad. But anyway, whatever. Maybe they'll build a desalination plant, which is, you know, very energy intensive and costly. Whatever. It's pretty shit for brain too, but it's better than running out of water. But anyway, it's good to see that we are pissing away so much water to keep this useless crop looking green. That's the only reason they're doing it, just so it looks green. So, you know, when the phrases come by, to whatever this is, I don't even pay attention to what these buildings are, what businesses in them. They'll probably be gone in a year or two anyway. I know over there it was like a surgery center or something, or it's health offices. But either way, you know, people that are coming here aren't even paying attention to this. They might as well just spray paint it green. I mean, go for full bleakness. Don't half-ass it. Go big or go home. So we're keeping this turf grass alive, which is mostly Bermuda. At least makes a little more sense than using St. Augustine, because Bermuda's shit too, but it doesn't require as much water. Now let's look at this over here. Now this is what you call a tropical plant. What is the genus and species? We don't know. Doesn't matter. It's probably never going to flower anyway, and surely these are all the same clone. We've also got this wonderful rock mulch of cobbles that were no doubt trucked in from a few hundred miles away, and then 2 or 3 inches beneath that, we've got the plastic weed fabric to make sure that the soil stays biologically inactive and the roots don't break it up. You don't want any weeds growing here breaking up the nice visual array of lines and even spacing. And again, with this wonderful acrylic siding. Oh, this might actually be aluminum. Either way, it was surely brought over here in a shipping container from China. and might as well just be at the bottom of the ocean. It's got the same thing, just totally useless, no point. Now stepping again over to the oaks, right? Now we got a wonderful array of native mimosoid leguminous trees that
The
thrive.
fucking piece of fucking garbage hanging off the tree is so depressing. This fucking plastic bag, dude. You ever feel like a plastic bag?
And are exceptionally low maintenance and smell wonderful when they flower. Most of them are flowering right now. But again, that would make too much sense. So instead, what we've planted is one of these decrepit, I can't tell what this is. Is this an oak? I think it's an oak too. Yeah, it's an oak. It does look like shit. The bag is, the jewel in the crown of depravity right there. Looks marvelous, 10 out of 10. That's a scene if there ever was one. I mean, there's a little bit too much greenery in the background. I can see trees over there. We need to get rid of those. Maybe put in some plastic signs, a billboard for a personal injury attorney, something else to really just lower the bar of intellect and culture so that we all
It's missing a giant sign that says, like, Jesus saves.
feel like killing ourselves or just eating yourselves into a coma. I mean, that's what I see when I'm in this landscape. That's what I want to do. I want to start online gambling, doing oxycontins, maybe eating myself into a coma, anything to escape the reality and the bleakness of where I live. I'm gonna leave that bag there because this is a work of art at this point. Now you can see Louis enjoying the grass at least, and the bottom of it is dead again because these were dug out from a tree farm with a tree spade. Look, they didn't forget the cobbles in the tree well too. That's nice. That looks great. See, they didn't stop there. They probably spent $10,000 on all of these hideous tropical shrubs that again lack hairs or intensive leaf wax. Actually, those leaves are a little waxy. It's still gonna need irrigation to prevent them from drying out though. Look at this tree. I said, wow, that is really something else. That thing's dead. Oh, it's a crepe myrtle too. Oh. Is it a crepe myrtle? No, it's an oak. It's an oak. I got excited. If it was a crepe, no, it's an ulmus species. Oh, this might even be the native quote cedar elm. But again, down here in South Texas, the cedar elms only really grow close to the river without irrigation.
Looks like shit. Looks like absolute fucking dog shit.
Right? Upland areas were more thorn scrub, got more of the mimosoid legumes. I got excited. That was a crepe myrtle. That would have been fucking perfect. Crepe myrtles are as bleak as it can get. If this was a crepe, you got to get more crepe myrtles in here. We got to cut that mesquite down too. Cut these mesquites, put in some crepe myrtles, make it as bleak as possible. Oh God, I want to just oil myself up with olive oil and go lay on that in July. Look at that parking lot, fucking brutally hot. You don't want tree cover. Whatever you do, you don't want tree cover, okay? We're going for bleak. If you're not on board with bleak, you can't be doing landscaping down here, and you certainly don't belong in any of these shithole developments, okay? Cut this down, cut that down, and we're gonna piss away water. Why don't we
God forbid we see any green.
just sow some
Also, Fasten 666. Thank you so much for the 5 gifts.
Bermuda, or better yet, St. Augustine in this dirt lot and put in an irrigation system there. That's creating jobs, fuckface. Now stepping across the street, let's go botanize this dirt lot. Look, this is available. You could build some here. You could purchase this and develop some. I said, wow. Now walking across the field gives you a real idea of what would be here once you remove the vegetation, okay? We've had a disturbance event, land clearing, and it's so hot that it's, not even anything's really getting established here. We're also in a drought. You could see remnants of Solanum eleagnifolium right there, a relative of tomatoes. It's a wonderful native, but they're even having a hard time getting going because they're just exposed to the hot sun. This is why it's important to keep the natural vegetation here. But again, I don't want to get people thinking too much. I don't want to get them, using common sense because that'll ruin the whole plan we got here. Now you can see what we got. These little shrubs poking up. These are actually mesquites, all right? So there were trees here at one point, or the seeds germinated at one point. They were never allowed to get very tall, and they just keep getting mowed over. But if you were to just let that mow, if you were to just stop mowing and let a single shoot, cut all the other shoots, let a single shoot grow up, you'd have a wonderful native tree. You'd have a little mesquital forest. Again, that makes too much sense. That would be too much shade. It wouldn't look as hideous as it does now, and we can't do that. That just makes too much sense, right? You're gonna cut all those shoots, let one grow, give it a leader, and let that turn into.
Isn't it insane that we have areas that even in like the hottest, most desert areas, greenery will still grow The most green, beautiful trees will grow despite all of the efforts to make this ugly fucking grass grow where it shouldn't be growing. And we're like, no, this can't be allowed. Remove it immediately. We need to put fucking concrete. We need to put grass that requires 1 billion gallons of water every second right now.
A tree. You don't want a tree on this landscape. Louis, do you want a tree? I don't want a tree here. I like that it looks like shit now. Now, certainly they're going to put, again, they're going to come in here, regrade it, put a pad in, giant asphalt parking lot, 160 degree surface temperatures, lovely. Okay, but these are just the remnant mesquites that just keep getting mowed over whenever they call a landscaping company to come in here and mow this over. This looks like, is this KR blue stem? This is an invasive grass. But, you know, you get a lot of invasive grasses. Oh, this is one of my favorites. One of my favorite natives. Again, I almost don't want to show it to you because we're, you know, the theme of today's episode is bleakness, but I'll do it anyway. This is Solana meliagnifolium, member of the nightshade family, tomato family, potato family. You get those 5 yellow anthers in that white style right down there. You can see it's covered in pubescence, which helps it cope with the drying winds and the heat. And it's great. It's got a tuberous root. It'll get mowed. And then it's got reserves down there in the ground, and that's...
I'm sorry, let me get this straight. You think we should plant these beautiful flowers that require literally no effort at all and will grow on their own despite getting no help from human beings? No, I don't think so. We can't plant these. We need these ugly ass fucking brushes. We need this shit, man. That requires 1 billion gallons of water and still looks like shit. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me get this straight. You want a plant that looks good without any effort at all.
Folium, member of the...
You want these. No.
Nightshade family, tomato family, potato family. You get those 5 yellow anthers in that white style right down there. You can see it's covered in pubescence, which helps it cope with the drying winds and the heat. And it's great. It's got a tuberous root. It'll get mowed. And then it's got reserves down there in the ground, and that storage mechanism gets a little bit of rain. It'll shoot back up. Maybe it doesn't even need rain because there's probably moisture at depth a couple feet down. Got one of the cool native beetles. I wonder if that's a Euphoria species or what. I don't think that is Euphoria. See, there's a beetle with the genus of beetle here named Euphoria. But we can also see those tubes right there. That's the native desert termite, which is responsible for a lot of the nutrient and biomass cycling here. Great to see them. They always seem to do really good, especially when, you know, half the grass is dead because they eat dead grass to begin with. But this is a wonderful plant. It gets a lot of hate as a weed, but it's a native pioneer species. Probably very aggressive overseas and probably would be a really horrible weed on a continent like Australia or the continent of Africa. But here it's it's great. We also got our native Helianthus annuus here, which is a very important pollinator plant that's...
Sorry, let me get this straight. You think we should have yellow flowers in gardens that require next to no maintenance instead of this shit? What about the profits for the water company? I'm just like, I just don't understand. How do you think that the landscaping companies are going to make money? How do you think that the water company can someone please think of the Nestle shareholders? What the fuck are you people talking about? Like, I don't understand. Like, how this isn't profitable. Having plants that naturally are gorgeous, how if they don't require any maintenance, how is someone supposed to profit off of that?
Flies that use sunflowers as a host plant from getting established on it. Right? A lot of members of the sunflower family have a very unique chemical profile, which works great as anti-herbivory compounds. But let's step over and look at this convolvulus. I said, wow, wonderful native convolvulus. Again, like that solanum, it's got that minty green color on the leaves because it's got that little coating of pubescence. A thin coating of pubescence. Morning glory family, convolvulaceae, beautiful white flowers. This is Convolvulus equitans, and it's thriving on the margins of a soon-to-be cleared shithole lot, right? But this looks better. This might be ugly now, but it looks better than that's gonna look. I mean, that my soul dies whenever I'm around buildings like that. You get me too close. You get me like I'm you know what? The whole time I've been recording this video, I've been dying on the inside. I'll be honest with you. Get a nice money shot of that convolvulus. Look at that. White tube flowers going for mouth pollination, lepidopteran pollination too. Actually, you know what? Those stamens are exserted, so there's probably some bees hitting that as well. But generally you see that white funnel form shape, you think moths. But again, that mint green coating of pubescence from the hairs, which enable it. It's a strategy this plant evolved over millions of years of natural selection in its environment to deal with one of the hottest climates in North America. And certainly, this is one of the hottest climates in North America. Just think of how lovely that asphalt's going to feel once you get the heat island effect going in the peak summer months of July and August, right? This asphalt will never cool down. It heats up to 160 degrees surface temperatures, goes about 8 inches deep, and will never really cool down. By the time the sun comes up at 5 a.m. after an evening, this is still going to be probably 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So the whole area just gets hotter, and you've got no tree cover because they planted non-native bullshit and most of it died. Excellent job. I almost want to give this a 10 out of 10, but they could do more on the bleakness. Certainly, if this was a development, like if they had a parking lot here and maybe a billboard, some LED billboards there, and less trees in the background, this would be a 10 out of 10. But right now, this is close. 9 out of 10. Bleak as hell, and good job. Very proud. Let's give them a round of applause. They really did it here. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. We'll check us out next week on another episode of Spiritually Depraved and Misery-Inducing Landscapes in North America. That's all I got. Have a good rest of your day. Go fuck yourself. Bye.
The cherry on top is the fact that the parking lot is gigantic and completely empty in the middle of a business day. Not only is the land intensive to care for, ugly as sin, and doomed from the start, but the area could be used for literally anything else, and it would be more beneficial than a flat, sweltering lot. Having no trees also means you get a nice, constant driving wind to blow dust into your eyes. When I go to when I go for a hike in the forest, all I can think is, man, I wish all these trees were evenly spaced out in a straight line. As a European, I gotta say, most of America looks like a half-empty Gary's Mod map. There is a remarkable array of landscapes in the Midwest that would be vastly improved if approximately 17 million bison trampled it all. I'm tired of the unironic propaganda that we can't have beautiful trees in deserts. There's this misconception that trees have never grown and can never grow in a desert. And it just pisses me the fuck off. It pisses me off so fucking bad, dude. Why? Makes me so sad. Like, guys, I was walking around LA. It's like the main street, no fucking trees, no shade. It's just, it's so hot. It's so hot. I'm dying. Please. I need a reprieve. The next street down, make 2 rights, residential. It's literally 10 degrees cooler. It's literally 10 degrees cooler. Because there's just trees everywhere providing shade. So anyways, I just needed to go on that tangent for a brief moment. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys now know one of the things that I'm the most passionate about. All right? You're supposed to drive everywhere, Denims. That's your problem. Yeah, but then what? You have to get out of your car eventually. You just suffer for every second that you're out of your car. That's horrible. I don't even mind the driving so much. I hate that you drive to a destination, any destination, and you're just still suffering. Did you even think about the fact that harsh landscaping makes strong men? Oh my god, dude. It's okay, guys.